So question number 7. Continuous random variable x is uniformly distributed over the interval a, b. Given that probability of x is in between 5 to 13 is 1 by 5 and the expectation is 9, probability that 3x is greater than a plus b. That is our question. Okay. So to do this question, it is better to draw a figure because it's a uniformly distributed function, right? So since it is a uniformly distributed function, so this is our x, this is probability density function p of x or f of x, whatever, and this is 0, and we don't know the value of a and b. We don't know the value of a and b. Anyway, I'm just assuming that a is a positive value and this is a and this is b, such that the height will be 1 by b minus a. And it is given in our question that probability of x in between 5 to 13, this probability is 1 by 5. Correct? So you can easily figure it out the answer. How? The difference between 5 and 13 is 8. And the height is 1 by b minus a. So 1 by b minus a multiplied by 8, because area, that will give the probability 1 by 5 because it's a rectangular in shape. So cross multiplied, and you can say that 8 into 5 is b minus a, or we will say 40 is the value of b minus a. 40 is the value of b minus a. And now this is equation number 1. This is equation number 1. Now also given in our question that the expectation, the mean value is 9, e of x. So e of x means basic formula is a plus b by 2, and that is given as 9. So if you are cross multiplying, what happens? A plus b is equal to 18. So this is another equation, equation number 2. Then solve 1 and 2, equation number 1 and equation number 2. How? We will write this 40 is equal to b minus a, 18 is equal to a plus b means we can write it as b plus a also. If you're adding this together, what happens is 58 is equal to 2b plus 0. From that, we'll get the value of b as 58 by 2, and that is 29. Now you substitute this value of a, b in any of the equation to get the value of a. So a is equal to, I'm just substituting this equation in equation number 2. So a is equal to 18 minus b. So that is 18 minus 29, and that we will get it as minus 11. So we got the value of a and b. That is not our actual question. A is equal to minus 11 and b is equal to 29. So our assumption was wrong because a is going up to the negative values. So this value of a, we got it as minus 11, and the value of b, we got it as 29. Such that this height is equal to 1 by b minus a, that is 1 by b minus a is 40. So 1 by b minus a, that we will get it as 1 by 40. Now, what is our question? First question, probability of 3x greater than a plus b. Probability of, this is actually the background information. Probability of 3x greater than a plus b. So first of all, we will simplify this. 3x greater than a is minus 11, b is 29. Therefore, 3x greater than 18, or x greater than 18 by 3. So x greater than 6. So indirectly, They are asking probability of x greater than 6. So probability of x greater than 6 means what? We should consider the entire area after 6 to 29. We need to find this area. Correct. So this is our table. And this is 6. And this is 29. So the difference between them is 29 minus 6. That is 23. And we know what is the height. That is 1 by 40. So the area is 1 by 23 into, sorry, not 1 by 23. The width length is 23. So 23 into 1 by 40. So the answer for this question is 23 by 40. Hope you got it. So that is the idea about the question number 7-1. Then 7-2. The continuous random variable y is uniformly distributed over the interval 1, c. Given that the variance is 0.48, find the exact value of e of y square. Yes. So here, again, we will draw a rough sketch. It's defining from 1 to c. It is defining from 1 to c. It is defining from 1 to c. The variance of this is 0.48. The variance of this is 0.48. So this is variable y. What about this height? It is 1 by b minus a, right? So 1 by c minus 1 is the height. Yes. So here in our question, it is given in our question that variance of y is 0.48. So what is the equation for variance? It is b minus a whole square divided by 12. That is a formula. Here in our question, what is b? B is c, and the starting point a is 1. So c minus 1 whole square divided by 12 is variance of y, and that itself is given as 0.48. From that, you can simply calculate the value of c, because c minus 1 whole square cross multiplied 12 minus 0.48. So c minus 1 is square root of 12 into 0.48. So c is equal to square root of 12 into 0.48 plus 1. And if you are doing so, you will get it as 3.4. So the value of c, now we got from this, using this, we got the value of c as 3.4. Now, what is our examiner's requirement? What is e of y square? So basic equation for variance of y is what? What is the fundamental equation of variance of y? That is e of y square minus e of y whole square. So e of y square is gonna be variance of y. I'm just rearranging it. E of y whole square. Okay. So what is e of y? The expectation or average of y is, what is the formula? A plus b by 2. So a is 1. What is c? 3.4 divided by 2. So 1 plus 3.4 is 4.4. 4.4 divided by 2 is 2.2. So the variance we already know. Expectation of y we calculated, that is 2.2. So substitute it. So 0.48 plus expectation of y is 2.2. So 2.2 whole square. So we will get the answer as 5.32. So expectation of y square is equal to 5.32. That was a very simple question. And finally, an application level question. A wire of length 20 centimeter is cut into 2 pieces at random point. The longest piece of wire is then cut into 2 pieces, equal in length, giving 3 pieces of wire altogether. Find the probability that the length of the shortest piece of wire is less than 6 centimeter. find the probability that length of the shortest piece of the wire is less than 6 centimeter. So to explain the concept of third part, it's actually a very logical question, an application level question. So we will read that question in very detail and we'll make a rough sketch what the examiner is actually, what is actually the circumstances of this question. A wire of length 20 centimeter, correct? So I will keep this question here so that I can avoid this constant scrolling of this question. Okay, so I'll keep this question here. Okay, so a wire of length 20 centimeter is cut into a piece at a random point. So if I'm drawing the distribution, I'm just naming this distribution as W, and W is varying from 0 to 20 because the total length is 20. So it starts from 0 and ends at 20. We know that 1 by B minus A is the height. So the distribution is having a height of 1 by 20. So this is actually the variable. Now, this wire is cutting into two pieces. Initially, that wire is cutting into two pieces. So if this wire is cutting into two pieces, the longest piece is again dividing into two equal halves. Clear? The longest wire is dividing into two equal halves. So you think about the situation. Like for example, if I'm cutting this into two equal halves initially, that means I'm dividing this into 10 and 10 each. Then none of the pieces are longer pieces. Then again, it's not possible to divide into again two pieces, correct? Because a longest piece of the wire is then cut into two pieces according to this. So what are the possibilities? What are the possibilities? You just think about this. If the W value is itself is less than, if the W value is itself is less than 6, that means that if this W value is less than 6 means, so I'm dividing three variables. One is for the first one, and the second one I'm just keeping it as X. How the X is the second piece. Since it must be its longest piece, it must be a value after, the longest piece must be a value after 10. And it goes up to 20. And then that piece itself is dividing into two equal halves. So that is a variable Y, and that varies from 0 to 10. So here, that first piece itself is dividing, a less than value less than 6. So that means one piece we already got what? A piece less than 6 centimeter. Correct? So W itself is less than 6. In that case, what happens? That our next piece will be anyway, it is greater than, the next piece must be anyway, it's greater than 6. Correct? Anyway, next piece is anyway, it's greater than 6. Does that make sense? Definitely it is greater than 6. And next piece also definitely it is greater than 6. So this is the idea. Now, suppose if the value of W is greater than 40, if the W is value is greater than 14. So then what happens to the value of X? What happens to the value of X? You think about that situation. If W is greater than 14 means X itself is greater than 6. X itself is greater than 6. W, if it is greater than 14 means the next piece will be anyway it's less than 6. So that is also possible. Then the next case, if W is greater than 6 and W is less than 8. If W is greater than 6 and W is less than 8, what happens? If W is a value which is greater than 6 and it is less than 8. So W is greater than 6 means this itself is greater than 6. So if W is greater than 6 and it is less than 8 means X is a value which is greater than 6 and Y is also greater than 6. You think about that situation. For example, if you want to get a clarity on this, I will just give an example. Suppose, see, if I'm cutting at a W is equal to 7. So what is the value of X? The value of X is 13 because 20 minus 7 is 13. Then what is the value of Y? It is 6.5. See, suppose if W is say value of X 6.5. So what happens to the X? X is what? X is 13.5. What is the value of Y? 6.75. You can see that idea, right? Now, if W is a value, say 8, what happens? X is equal to 12, Y is equal to what? 6. So at that moment onwards, what happens? This is the border. See, when W is equal to 6, X is equal to 14, and Y is equal to, if W is equal to 6, and X is equal to 14, and Y is equal to 7. See, when the W value is in between 6 to 8, these values are not giving any pieces which is less than 6. Clear? So 6 to 8 is not giving any piece length less than 8. Then you think about the another next scenario. Like, for example, once it reaches to the value 12. So when it reaches to 12 to 14, when it reaches to 12 to 14, what happens? For example, if W is taking 12, or a value which is just greater than 12, say for example, W is equal to 13. So what is the X value we will get? X value is 7. And what is the value of Y? What is the value of Y? Y is equal to half of 7. That is 3.5. Y is 3.5. Correct? If W is equal to 12, what is the value? We just check once again. Is there any other missing values? I mean, any values that are not giving any value less than 6. X is equal to 8, Y is equal to 4. Suppose if W is equal to 14, X is equal to 6, Y is equal to 3. Then W is equal to 12. Then X is equal to 8. Sorry, we already calculated W is equal to 8. Suppose if W is equal to 10, X is equal to 10, Y is equal to 5. See, we made a small mistake. See, When W is equal to 13, though that means that is our longest piece. So according to the question, we are taking the half of the longest piece. So the y value is not 3.5. See here we know that this is the longest piece. So we are taking the half of 13. So the y value is 6.5. This is y value is 6. When it is 4, the y value is 7. So this will not stand because equal pieces are not standing. So we can see that any value of W in between 12 to 14, the smallest piece is not less than 6 centimeters. So that means we should also deduct this part. Rest of all the cases, this region or this region is not giving any pieces whose length, shortest piece whose length is less than 6 centimeters. So we should deduct. Rest of the case, rest of the region will always give what? A piece whose shortest length less than 6 centimeters. So we should deduct these two regions. So what is this width? 2. What is the height? 1 by 20. Here the width is 2, 1 by 20. Therefore, the value, how will you answer this? How will you answer this question? Because it's a 5-mark question. So we should clearly calculate W less than 16, not 16. I mean W less than 6 or W greater than 14 or probability of W in between 8 to 12 or only that's 3 regions. All these 3 values will give the required probability. So if you are adding these all probabilities, so this is what the difference between 6 minus 0 by 20 plus 20 minus 14 over 20 plus 12 minus 8 over 20. So 6 by 20 plus 6 by 20 plus 4 by 20. So 6 plus 6, 12, 16 by 20. So it is 4 by 5. So the answer for this question is 4 by 5. So that's all about this question.